Good morning. All right, next question is from Diane. Good morning, Diane. Let's see. Is it better to test more people quicker and cheaper with less accurate results, or hold out for the more accurate test, which is so slow? Please comment on the rapid test versus the PCR test as it relates to this opinion piece, and it links to a Washington Post article. And so I tried an answer, then I thought, no, I should read the Washington Post article first. So I've read the Washington Post article, and it's fine, yeah. And it's what I thought. So the answer is this has been modeled. So what modelers do is exactly this kind of what if. Is a quicker but maybe slightly less reliable test better, or is a slower but more reliable test, but you have to wait a while for the results, better? Because in that time when you're waiting, there's a potential that you can expose other people, which is, leads to more cases. Whereas a quick test will get you an answer most of the time that is correct, but we'll miss a couple cases. And so, I can't remember which paper, but I do remember reading one. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of them swirling around in here now. And it said that basically the quicker test is the better. The actual focus of the paper was similar to this. It was playing off the sensitivity of the test, like being able to detect smaller amounts, which might mean you can detect earlier, versus getting the results just turned around within 24 hours as opposed to 72 hours or something like that. And it's a similar question. I think it speaks to this same point. And yeah, the answer was that the faster test actually leads to less long-term spread. So the virus then doesn't go out and spread any further. And that's probably the answer. So the two tests that we're talking about here are actually both tests for the virus, which is good. One of them is called the PCR test. That's the one you know about. They are looking for one of the genes from inside the virus. This one is quite accurate. There is really no way to get a false positive unless the people doing the test have messed up and contaminated something. But they've done a lot of these tests now. They're real good at that. And so, I don't worry about false positives with that. And it also has, the lowest false negative rate of anything out there. This is kind of the gold standard to which all the others are compared. We don't actually have a better test. So if the PCR test is missing somebody, there is no test that's actually picking them up. So, there you go. But I don't think it's actually missing many people. So it's just that if you take the PCR test too early, then you won't have enough genome in you, virus genome, to actually get it positive. So that's all. Anyway, the other test, the rapid test, is an antigen test. This is going to be similar to the antibody test everybody's been talking about ages ago. But what this is doing is using antibodies, a little Y-shaped molecule, to grab onto a protein from the virus. And then they'll stack another antibody on top of that has some kind of marker on it. It can just be a little tiny little drop of gold or something, which you can see. It just shows up as a sort of a red line or a black line on the strip. Or you can attach an enzyme to it, and then there's a lot of ways to do it. But the really rapid test, they're just putting something heavy and opaque on there. And you can either read that out just by eye. It's like you get an extra line on it, just like a pregnancy test. Or you can read it out with fancy optics and lasers. There's things that use cell phone cameras to read these out and get a little bit better sensitivity. The rapid tests are okay. They don't catch all of the people that are positive because that's just the nature of it. It's kind of a thing where you have to get just the right part of the virus and just the right orientation in enough copies to be able to detect it. So there's room for improvement there, but they're actually pretty good. And they are much less expensive, and if less expensive means that more people can be tested, then that's the real big gain as far as I'm concerned, like from the public health side. The more people that can be tested, the better chance we have of getting a handle on this. And that is what's been done in all the countries where they've managed to suppress the virus. Most of the countries, rather. They just test a lot. And yeah, that's a strategy that seems to work. So that's probably what we should be doing too. All right, so there we go. So yes, Diane, that is a good question. And yeah, I would say go with the rapid antigen test if you need a quick answer, and that's going to be fine. And whatever, the PCR test is there if you want a second opinion, confirmation. I think that's also fine. It's just that takes a while. Thanks very much. This is Ask Dr. Ben.